I'm sure you are aware that Nancy Pelosi has been conducting a kangaroo court sham hearing this week, all about the January 6 riots. And it is so theatrical that her committee hired a former Good Morning America TV producer to stage it so it would be good TV. But it has been very bad government. And the person who ought to be most ashamed of herself isn't even Pelosi. It's a pretend Republican from Wyoming, Liz Cheney. Yeah. Now, according to the rules of the committee, there was supposed to be bipartisan participation, with the Republicans appointed by Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. The names he submitted were real Republicans who were determined to make sure that the committee acted in good faith. Well, Nancy couldn't have that, so she just arbitrarily rejected all the Republican appointees, and she appointed her own lapdog pet Republicans who would run to the feeding dish when she rang the bell. The only two that she could find who would disgrace themselves by being her tightly leashed love pups were Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, who at least had the dignity of not running again for his congressional seat after he's made a fool of himself by selling out to the likes of AOC and the Radical Squad. But Liz Cheney has no dignity left. Her personal animosity toward Donald Trump has eclipsed every last ounce of integrity she may have ever possessed, and she joyfully joined the most partisan and vicious Trump haters in D.C. to try and blame Donald Trump for a breakdown in security at the Capitol, despite the irrefutable fact that he urged Pelosi, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, as well as others, to allow him to supply up to 20,000 troops for security on that day. But they all turned him down. And then they have the audacity to blame him for a rally that turned into the riot. Now, the reason that I hold Liz Cheney in such contempt is because she's pretending to be such the law and order stickler. But every conservative I know has clearly spoken out against those who did damage to property at the Capitol or who threatened or challenged a police officer that day. But what Liz Cheney has not done is to demand an accounting for the unjustified shooting of the only person who actually died that day, an unarmed woman, an Air Force veteran named Ashley Babbitt, who was shot dead by a Capitol Hill police officer, but about which the details of the investigation have never been made completely public. Liz Cheney has not demanded an accounting for Ashley Babbitt's death, nor has she said a word about the disgusting and humiliating treatment of Peter Navarro, who was arrested as he boarded the plane last Friday to come to Nashville to be on this very show. Now, the FBI office is literally next door to his apartment. Next door. He offered in writing and on the phone to voluntarily come in, should they wish to talk to him. Oh, no. Instead, they followed him to the airport and waited until he was boarding the flight to Nashville when they arrested him, handcuffed him, hauled him away in unnecessary humiliation. Then they put him in leg shackles, strip searched the 72-year-old Harvard scholar who had never been arrested in his life. I want to know, will Liz Cheney demand answers as to why he was treated this way, but former Attorney General Eric Holder wasn't? Do you remember Holder was also charged with criminal contempt of Congress, and even 17 of the Democrats in Congress voted for those charges, all because he refused to answer questions about the disastrous Fast and Furious operation, the one that resulted in the death of Border Agent Brian Terry. And Adam Kinzinger, who cried about January the 6th, didn't shed a tear about Ashley Babbitt or the treatment of Peter Navarro. Now, here's what some of us want to see. Just to be blunt, send Liz Cheney and other swamp creatures home and replace them with liberty-loving, courageous constitutionalists who will demand accountability for the corrupt officials at the FBI and the DOJ and in the Biden White House who have persecuted their political opponents with the power of the government. And they've done that while they have covered and hidden the crimes of the well-connected. Now, if there is a Republican candidate or incumbent who won't do that, my thought is vote him out. and replace them with those who will actually fight for us and our country. And when I say fight, let me tell you what I mean. I mean fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark when it starts to rain. That kind of fight.